Coming to you from Colorado. It is one of the snowiest days of the year. School is canceled. Perfect day to do a foundation review. It is so dry. I cannot believe how just within a couple months the air can get so dry and just literally leach every ounce of moisture out of my skin. During the winter, I seem to get weird redness around my neck, like little spots. This happens every winter. And then today, I tried to really hydrate my skin. I used a new moisturizer I haven't used before, but I really don't know if this is what caused it. And this is the Ole Henriksen Sheer Transformation Perfecting Moisturizer. I had to wash it off because I was like, half of my face was just red. So I'm gonna have to try that another day. Maybe I'm just having some kind of weird allergic reaction, which you're probably thinking you probably shouldn't be putting foundation on, but let me tell you guys, I've been so busy and I really need to get these videos filmed and up for you, and just because there's some redness, I'm not gonna let that stop me. The foundation we're reviewing today, it's weird, but this It Cosmetics in a foundation, I've been looking for it everywhere online. This released, I think, back in March or February of 2019, and I cannot find it anywhere. And I'm hoping I'll be able to come down to the bottom of it and see what's going on. But I've been wanting to test out this foundation for a while now. I've been wearing it on and off for like the last 3 or 4 months, so I thought I'd show you guys how it applies, what we think about it, and heck, I don't even know if you can get it anymore, but it's very interesting. I want to know what happened to this foundation. There's not a lot of information on this foundation right now. It is long wear, weightless, and full coverage, and it was made with plastic surgeons. I don't know how well to take that into effect, because any product, if they hired just any doctor, could say doctor recommended or trial tested, and they could have only tested it on 1 or 2 people, and they can legally say it was, I mean, they could have picked any plastic surgeon in the United States and said made with a plastic surgeon. So I only take that with a grain of salt. I do like It Cosmetics, the owner, the founder. I listened to a podcast with her explaining how she started her company, and it's really such like an underdog story, and it was amazing how she built this company. And she actually sold it for $1 billion. From what I know, she still works with the company, and they just welcomed their first daughter. So I love what it stands for, but I'm curious to see what's going on with this foundation. Now, I usually use a brush when applying this product. It is super thick, such a thick consistency. And my shade is 215 Medium Nude. I'll show you the coverage. This is definitely a full coverage foundation. It's a little stiffer and harder to blend out, so you can kind of see. It seems to be emphasizing my pores. I do feel like this color might be a little too light for me, but with the seasons changing, I do feel like it's so hard to get a color match completely right. I'm gonna bring it down my neck. I used to do my foundation after my brows, but I've been trying to get all the way underneath my eyes, and so the color is the same consistency all the way around. I can definitely see a velvet matte. I'm seeing more just straight matte, but it's clinging to so many dry patches. Like, oh, look at this. Foundation is completely applied. The Beauty Blender didn't do a bad job either. I do think it's easier to buff this into your skin with the brush. I wouldn't say the Beauty Blender offered a more flawless finish like with some foundations it usually does. My impressions right now are it doesn't melt into my skin quite. It looks like it's just sitting on the surface. We will see kind of how it goes throughout the day, if maybe it melts in more with the rest of my makeup. Let's go ahead and go in with a concealer. Concealer is the Milani Conceal and Perfect, and I'm just gonna be putting this concealer, a little bit of it goes a really long ways, and the shade I'm in with that is Light Natural 125. All right, I blended out my concealer. I know how to work this concealer and what to expect from this concealer. I've been using concealers that I really know in and out with these foundation reviews, so it doesn't affect my opinion of the foundation. I'm definitely gonna have to set my concealer just a little bit, maybe just the cheek area of the foundation where I applied the foundation, where I'm going to be blending things out. But other than that, you really don't need to set the rest of this foundation. So I'll be going in with this Hourglass Veil translucent setting powder and setting underneath my eyes wherever, and then lightly where I will be blending out my bronzer. Okay, I finished all of my makeup and it is 1:44 p.m. Holy cow, what a late start. Foundation's probably been on for 15 minutes, so I'll say the start time is 1:30. See how long I can go with wearing this foundation and go from there. As far as my makeup is concerned, I always like to go over everything that I've used. I used the Kat Von D Contour Shade and Light palette, and I went in with this middle shade, Shadow Play, as just like a light contour. I went in with my tried and true Fenty Beauty Islanding bronzer, and then I also took that into my crease and underneath my eye. With highlight, I went in with the Becca x Chrissy palette, and I just mixed both of these shades in with my Morphe blush palette, and I used MUA and Witty. Then I went back into my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I always use these two shades right here. It's called Lyric and then Levitation to hit underneath my eyes, my upper forehead, and just to like pop everything, make it seem very bright. And then I went in with my brow pencil, the Precisely My Brow, my favorite brow pencil of all time. I set everything with my Too Faced Replenishing Primer Water. And lastly, for my lip color, I went in with Maybelline Baddest Beige. Such a pretty comfortable lip product. So easy to put on. It goes with pretty much any look, and I thought it turned out really nice. So I will be taking you guys along with me throughout the day and show you exactly how this foundation wears. I am back with the check-in. It is 5:15 p.m. Foundation has been on for almost 4 hours. What it's looking like so far. Bronzer's in place. Yesterday I wore this foundation and I had so much creasing. I think I learned how to apply it a little bit better. If you have any creases, you want to avoid applying this heavily in any of those areas. Looks like it's sitting on the skin, not necessarily melted into the skin. It doesn't look very skin-like. I took a couple pictures, which I'll insert here, and it just looks really powdery and cakey after I sprayed setting spray. But that's kind of where we're at. I did do some research about what happened to this foundation. They discontinued this foundation 3 months after its release. So it was released in March, and 3 months later they took it off the shelves. There really are no concrete details as to why. I do know that this foundation was not rated highly on Ulta. In fact, when it first released, there was a lot of hype about it being one of the worst new foundations, so that might have been it. I'm definitely kicking myself for not filming this review sooner. I don't think I would have kept it. Yeah, but we will check in with you guys really soon and kind of let you know how the makeup is looking then. Hello and welcome back to the glamorous life of me. Just kidding, so not glamorous. In fact, I'm dying to get in the shower. Don't mind the zit that I just popped. I wanted to just hop on here and give my final thoughts of this foundation. Here's what the foundation looks like thus far. It is currently 11 p.m. So what does that make this? I think it's like 7 hours, 7 hours. First and foremost, let's talk about what it looks like. So the foundation, it loves to set on the fine lines. I mean, look at that. Look right between my eyes. This is the main part I've noticed, and on my forehead, as well as just underneath my eyes. It just seems to cake up, and it just makes my skin look very dry and flaky. As far as like the sides of my face goes, I feel like my makeup did stick to this foundation really well, considering like I feel like my bronzer's still intact, my highlight's still intact. Definitely not transfer proof. Then again, I'm not quite sure what foundation isn't transfer proof with my kids. I mean, they're jumping on my face all day long, so not transfer proof in that department. I just feel like that this foundation isn't flattering on the skin. It doesn't make your skin look skin-like. Very thick consistency, very thick look. Not a lightweight foundation at all. The coverage is nice if you're looking for a full coverage foundation. Unfortunately, you can't buy this foundation anymore, or fortunately, you can't buy this foundation anymore because, you know, it is kind of expensive. It was $39, and I believe the shade range was okay. I think there were 49 different shades. They pulled it, like I said, 3 months after the release. I can't say it's the worst foundation I've ever worn, but I definitely wouldn't say I would ever have bought this again. So those are my thoughts, just very drying. If you guys enjoyed this review, and next week I will be doing a foundation review that is actually available for you to purchase if you want it. So that being said, I hope you have a great night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
my heart afire.